I am the publishing strategist at Janna Co. I help children's book creators and kids comics creators figure out how to be successful in their careers. And I'm joined here by my close friend and collaborator, Misako Rocks. So Misako, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm a Japanese manga artist living in Brooklyn. And so far also I teach manga lessons at schools, and I have a lot private manga students. But also I publish the manga books here in America and also UK. And I published several books in Japan too.
Yeah, best-selling books in Japan.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing these video series for quite a while because we're going to be covering the whole publishing process, and it takes a long time.
Yeah.
And the very, very first topic that I thought you and I should handle today is rejection.
Yes. I know. That's the thing.
Because if you're a creative person, if you're an author or an artist, you are definitely going to face rejection at some point in your career. And it's so important that you figure out ways to bounce back from it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so funny when I realized that's the title of your next book.
Yeah, that's so true. Coming from a rejection, bounce back.
Yes.
Right?
It's so important to bounce back. So I thought a nice segue into this conversation would be how you and I met.
Yes.
So Misako, tell me about how you and I met.
Okay, so I met you, Janna, a long time ago. When was it even? Like more than 10?
2000.
Definitely 2002. Yeah, because I used to live in Wisconsin that time.
Yeah. And
I was going through a really crazy personal, crisis, and I wanted to change my life. So I started. That point, 2003, 2004, around that time.
Yeah.
Because manga is getting really popular in America.
Yeah.
And I had a part-time job to be at the, Children's Museum, Wisconsin. That's what I found about the, this Japanese, this pop culture in America.
Right.
And I started, thinking, maybe what if I make a story about my life when I was exchange student in Missouri State.
Yeah.
So I started pitching idea, and I made, samples, only 16 pages. And I was Googling entire, publishers in New York City. And I went to you. I think I pushed only like 1-800 dial. And I said, hi, my name is Misako Takashima. I'm a Japanese manga artist, even though I was not that quite, but I said, I like to talk to an editor. Could you And then went to you, and you say, hi, this is Janna Morishima. And when you said the last name,
right, that's true.
In Japanese. And I think I just asked you, like, are you Japanese? I think this is like, maybe I started talking to you.
Yeah.
That's why I think I reached out to you, and then I told you, hey, I have, like some interesting project I want to share with you. Can I, visit you? I live in Wisconsin. And he was like, oh my God, in Wisconsin, yeah, just when you come to, New York City, just call me or email me. And that's how I met you.
Yeah.
That's how I started, just from 1-800.
Yeah, and I remember, so you came into Scholastic, which is where I was working then, and you had your portfolio. I think it was like one of those big, portfolios.
Yeah.
People didn't like email stuff back in those days.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, more like a physical thing.
Yeah. So you brought it all in, and I think the way we worked then is we had like a portfolio drop-off day, and you would come in, you brought your portfolio, you would leave it, and then you would pick it up the next day, maybe, or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I remember looking at your work, and I remember thinking, like, wow, she definitely has potential, but I don't think she's quite there yet. So I wrote you a letter, the usual editorial letter, where I said what I thought you should work on.
Yeah.
And I gave it back to you. So in essence, it was a form of rejection.
Yes, that was formal rejection. But I think that was my, one of the first time to get the rejection. And since I'm Japanese, also I didn't understand how the publishing America worked at all. So maybe I didn't take it as a rejection. I just took took it. I was like, oh wow, she's so nice. He gave me advice.
Yeah.
I just took it really positive way.
Yeah, that's actually, I wonder if that's I guess if you get a rejection that has some bit of constructive feedback,
Yeah.
think of it as advice.
Yeah, that's definitely I took it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, you're like, oh wow, she gave me amazing critiques. So it means I just need to fix it, and I'm gonna bring back to New York.
Yeah. So you totally didn't feel it didn't break your stride at all.
No, not at all.
And then the other thing I totally remember about you is that I wrote you, I think there were like 3 or 4 major overarching issues that I told you to work on with your work.
Yes.
And like almost 1 year later, on the dot, you called me.
Yeah.
And you said, "It's Misako, remember me? I worked on my portfolio and I changed everything you asked me. Can I come back?"
Yeah, I did it. Oh my God, yeah, it took a long time.
And do you know, I think you were possibly one of the only people who ever did that.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I only gave constructive criticism to people who I thought really did have potential for future for being published. And a lot of people, I never heard from them again.
Wow. So I guess a lot of people, they took it and they felt so sad. Maybe they took it really personally. And like, okay, so this project is done. I'm not gonna even bother.
Yeah,
That's what maybe people think.
Very, very, very easy for people to take it personally.
Wow.
And actually, okay, so this is the segue into the story I told you I was
Yeah.
about myself.
Yes.
So, my very first attempt to break into children's book publishing was when I was 22 years old. In college, I actually created 2 children's books myself.
Wow.
So I wrote and illustrated one that was like an Asian folktale.
Okay.
And then the second one, which was more ambitious, was a picture book about the medieval spice trade. And it was a little esoteric, I guess, but I liked it a lot. And after I graduated from college, one of the first things that I did is I decided to see if I could find an agent.
Yeah.
So I found an agent. I can't remember exactly how I found this person, but she was located in my hometown. So I sent her a proposal through the mail with the artwork. And after a while, I heard back from her. And she said, "I'm sorry, but your project isn't right for me, but I really want to encourage you to continue working on this because I'd like to see any future projects you might have." So in essence, she was giving me a super positive rejection, right? But I did exactly what we were just talking about. I took it super personally because I was a super perfectionist. I was the kind of person who was like, if it wasn't straight A's, then it was terrible. So I basically was like, oh, I suck. And I put it away and
You never touched it?
Never touched it again.
Oh no.
Yeah, it took me a long time to learn resilience.
Wow.
In this way. Yeah, so that's part of the reason why I feel so strongly about this topic.
Yeah.
Because I see other people doing what I did and think, like, no, don't do it.
Right.
You have to stay true to yourself and don't let other external people judge the value of what you're doing. And it's so important that you understand that to do anything well requires hard work.
Right.
And a lot of time.
So true. I mean, it takes a long time to even make, to just finish one page.
Yeah. Like, how long did it take you to do one page?
When I made a Rock and Roll Love, so I did everything by hand. I didn't even use computer. So one page, it took like 2-3 hours. That was really long time. Also, plus, in a way, when I was making manga book, Rock and Love, I felt like also I was trying to still find my style. Maybe.
Yeah.
I felt like I was, if I look it back myself, I was so lucky. I think I came in the really right time,
Yeah,
right
you
place.
did. You did.
Definitely. So I didn't feel like any rejection that time yet. I was on just a really lucky boat, you know. I was swimming and just like going everything great.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe after I publish, everything's gonna go well. That's what I thought.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you know, things just after that when just up and down a lot. So when I was making a Rock and Love, I think I was still like just finding my way, finding my style. I was just like in a bubble.
Yeah. So maybe this is a good time to talk about the in-between period. So you published a couple of books early on when manga was getting really popular. Then you started publishing in Japan.
Yeah.
And when you started trying to move on again in the US market, it's sort of like you were facing a wall.
Yeah, that's the time. It's funny. I think this happens to so many artists. Once you publish the book, you feel like you're the king. You know, you felt like, oh my gosh, I did it. You know, I'm gonna be the famous author. And then I started having an ego and a pride, getting so high. And I really thought I was gonna live on, you know, really with a big money. I thought I was not gonna be able, I'm not gonna struggle. That's what I think a lot of authors maybe feel that way once you publish the big book. But then I realized, oh my gosh, okay, I really loved my project. It didn't go well. And even though I got the attention from Japan, I felt like I failed still in America because my book didn't sell well. So my heart was like, I don't know, it was not like 100% when I was even working on a Japanese book too. Because, you know, half of it, like, oh, I'm a failure. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I noticed a lot of authors is getting more attention here in America. And I started comparing myself to them.
Oh, comparison. Yeah, that can be.
That was bad. I think that was definitely one of my first time to get like, you know, like all the rejection and comparing this, what is called inferiority complex. Yes, that one. That was really hard.
Yeah. So how did you recover from it? How did you get your mojo back?
Okay, so you know, I think I decided to just say goodbye to my pride, goodbye to my ego.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really,
so interesting.
Yeah, I think I really let it go. I just like, I can't live with this, you know, like this ego, just a pride, insecure person anymore. Because I have to make money too. Because you know, I live in New York. It's so expensive.
Right.
And then you started talking to me, and Christopher started talking to me. Hey, you know, you're really good.
Christopher is your partner.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows that.
Yes, and he knows all my up and down, all the story. And you guys started telling me, since I was really good at teaching kids, because sometimes I get invited to teach. You know, like, why don't you just focus on more like teaching a little bit too? It's a good side business. But then the first like side business, I'm an author. I don't want to take side business. My pride didn't allow me. That's what I thought. But then, yeah, I mean, I got to do what I need to do. So I started teaching this 5th grade and 4th grade. And they are so fun and the brain is so soft. So, I mean, they got so much, I mean, so many stories and they pretty much inspired me to just make more stories. I think that's how I started coming back. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a story more for them.
Right. It's so interesting how so often things that we initially think of as being like a sidetrack, something that we have to do just for money, or it ends up having the silver lining in the cloud, right? Because we've talked about this often, that your close connection with kids, to me, shows up in your art, it shows up in your stories, that you really, really understand where they are. And you even literally can write down things that they've told you.
Yes.
So it's made you more in touch, so that your stories are more real.
That's so true. That's what, like, in a way, I mean, I don't want to say I wasted my, last like 5 or 6 years, but maybe it was kind of meant to be. I was struggling, I was frustrated for a long time, but then finally I stepped out from my comfort zone and I started teaching. I started being out there, and then I realized, oh, I'm really connected to kids. And this past couple years, this experience finally helping me to create this really amazing story.
Yeah. So this, again, we just keep going exactly in the direction I want to go with the conversation.
Sorry.
So let's talk a little bit about your current project. You have a piece of art behind you.
This, my amazing project Bounce Back, me and Janna working on. This is a book I think I started working on even before I started working with you.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
Right? Yeah. Like 2000, let's say 14 or something, I started sort of like pitching this idea, and I started, putting this off. But then I started teaching kids. Then I realized, I want to make a story about this middle school kids struggling, a little school bullying, and just don't know who you are, all of this drama using my characters.
Yeah.
So this Bounce Back, it's definitely sort of using my experience too. Right. This lyrical Japanese kid moved to Brooklyn.
Right.
And then just no friends.
Yeah.
Don't understand English at all. And all this shy awkwardness come out, and she's gonna meet this really international, crazy.
Yeah.
So in this book, I just feel like, I was just living in a way with a lyrical. Also, like I wanted to be in a team for a long time, but I didn't do anything. I was such a loner when I was a kid. So I was kind of using my ideal, like, this middle school life.
You're living vicariously through your characters.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. So speaking of rejection and bounce back, so we've been working together on this project, and starting last fall, I think it was, I sent it to 9 different publishers, all publishers that everybody would know, and all people that I knew. And so far, I think we've gotten 5 rejections.
Yes.
And for 0, nothing. So how do you feel about that?
First, when we started talking we're gonna send this to, this person, that, I think I was building up my expectations so high because, I have a insanely strong personal feeling to this book. That's when I got the rejection. What? But at the same time, I'm so used to get rejection, from the past. I think a couple hours I took it personally, but then, nah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
In there, I just feel they don't get it. Me, you, we understand this. We know this. So it was really hard, but I took a side, and I didn't take it personally anymore. After that, I felt much better.
Yeah. I mean, I too felt like, it was a rejection for me as well. But I was really surprised by how little I was affected by, or actually I should say, more than that, a part of me was actually secretly happy that it got rejected.
I know. Exactly, yeah.
Because I realized that I wanted to do the project with you.
Yeah.
I wanted to be working on publishing it with you instead of sending it to another publisher as an agent. So that's where we are right now.
Yes.
We've decided we're going to co-publish the book.
Yes.
And we are going to live vlog the whole process. So we're going to be meeting on video chat, I don't know, once a month or something like that, to talk about the whole process. And next month in April, we are going to the Independent Book Publishers Association conference in Chicago, where we're going to get all of our technical questions answered. we'll probably discover a whole lot of new questions that we didn't realize we needed to have.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because as an author, I mean, you know, I'm an artist, so it means I don't know anything about technical stuff. That's in a way when we got the rejection, but at the same time, in the same, you know, same feeling as you. Well, we got the rejection, but I'm way more excited to work on this together, publish together with Janna. So, like, my excitement was way bigger than this fear or nervous feeling.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, I was so ready.
That happens a lot of times when you feel fear and excitement at the same time.
Yeah.
But if you feel fear and excitement at the same time, that's a good sign.
Yes,
because it means you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone towards something that's really important to you. Because the more important it is to you in your heart, the more you're putting stuff on the line.
Yes.
The scarier it is. But ultimately, for your long-term future, the better it is.
Yeah, so true. So true. I think I finally really understand that feeling now.
Yeah.
Before I didn't get it that much, but now after there's so many rejections and experience, like when you feel fear, nervous, it means, wow, like we are in a really outside of our box and we are trying to do something big. That's like really exciting same time.
Yeah, super exciting.
Yeah.
So I guess we can sort of wrap things up now. And I want to encourage everybody, if you want to follow Misako, you can find her on Instagram.
Yes, please.
So it's Instagram.com/Misako Rocks.
Misako Rocks, yeah.
Yes. And if you want to find me, you should come to my website, jannaco.co, and sign up for my emails, and you'll hear from me. And, and we also wanted to ask if any of you out there have questions or comments, or you want to tell us about your own experiences with rejection, leave your comments down below.
Yeah.
And we're signing off for now.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.